In this video, we will look at how to access the TimePro API to retrieve data and display it on the screen. The TimePro API has been written as a REST service. This means you are able to interact with it directly through raw HTTP commands. The API documentation page lists all of the calls that can be made against the service. However, in this video, I will be demonstrating how to use the TimePro client library to interact with the service. The client library allows you to get started immediately and handles the raw HTTP calls for you and the client authentication as well. In this video, I will be taking you through three parts. Firstly, we will generate an API key so that we will be authorized to access the API. Then we will add the TimePro API client library from NuGet to our Visual Studio project. And finally, we will get some data from the TimePro API and display it on the website. So let's get started. First, we need an API key. When we make calls to the API, we will need to authorize ourselves by providing our unique API key. To generate one, first make sure that you are logged into TimePro and pay attention to your subdomain. You will need this for later. Navigate to the admin page. From here, you can see a section to manage your API key. Generate one if you do not have one, and copy it into your clipboard for later. Now let's go into Visual Studio and look at our project. Here I've got a brand new MVC project. First, we need to add the NuGet package by simply right-clicking References and going Manage NuGet Packages. Find the TimePro API Helper NuGet package and click Install. Now that we have the client library installed, we can interact with it to retrieve data from TimePro. So first, we need to create a new action to do this. Here I'm just using the home controller and I'll add in a new action that we can invoke. Public action result TimePro demo. This will return a view. We have the NuGet package installed, so we can start using it. We can go SSW TimePro API clients API helper. We'll go var clients helper equals a new SSW TimePro clients API helper. Now when you construct one of these, it takes two inputs. The first one is your subdomain. Here it was video demo. The second part it takes in is that API key that we copied before. Now that we have the client helper, we can retrieve some data from it. So we can go var clients equals clients helper dot get clients asynchronously. Now because we can see that this method needs to be called asynchronously, we can see that it's just returning a task. So of course we need to await for the results to come back, and because we're awaiting, we need to put an async up here and return back a task of this instead. Great, so we're retrieving all the data. Now we just need this view so that we can display the clients onto the screen. So let's pass the client data into our view and generate the view so that we can display these. Let's scroll down to the home controller, right click, add a new view. We'll just create a brand new empty view. We'll call it TimePro Demo, which was the same as our action. We'll hit add. And once that's finished, first we're going to tell this view that it should know that it has a model. So we can go at model, and we know this is going to be an IEnumerable because it was a collection of these. It's going to be an IEnumerable of ssw.timeproapi.models.clientModel. Great. So we now know about what our model is, so we can start displaying this on the screen. Let's do this by just iterating over all of those. So we can go at for each var client in model. So for each one of these, well, first we need a table so we can actually display all of these in here. Let's move that down the bottom. So inside this table, we're going to go and create one row for each one of these clients that we've got. So we'll add in one new row here. Let's add in a new column, and in that column we're going to go at client.clientID. Have a second one where we go at client.the company name and build. So we can just run this and we will see it go retrieve all of our clients and display them on the screen. And now we can see that the clients have been returned back to us and we've displayed them on the screen. So it's that easy to get started with the TimePro Clients API.